Coverage you can count on continues. With Storm Team 10 meteorologist Everett Lau.
Well, it was a nice fair day to get our weekend started off right. This is a look from ISU earlier today. News 10's Caleb Brandt went out there and shot this video for us. Some sunshine, a few passing clouds, and believe it or not, exactly a month from today is when classes start on ISU's campus. So we're about that time of year when classes are going to resume across the Wabash Valley, and it's going to start to feel more like summer as we get through this next week. But right now, pretty nice out there, still with temperatures around 80 degrees in most spots, 80 here in Terre Haute and in Casey, 83 in Olney, Newton at 82, 81 for Paris and Linton, and Brazil's our relatively cool spot, checking in at 79 degrees. Now as you look at the Storm Team 10 storm tracker, most of us have stayed dry today. We've had a few passing clouds, and at times a few raindrops coming out of those clouds. You can see a few little spotty showers that developed in Putnam County earlier. Those have since fallen apart. And so we've had a few little areas of rain try to bubble up, but most of that activity is settling down. So I'm expecting most of us to continue to stay dry as we go through the rest of the night. So here's Futurecast. Again, it shows maybe a spotty shower yet this evening. That we're in the heat of the day, but with the sun setting, I think most of that activity comes to an end. And then the sky stays mostly clear through the night. So that's going to set us up for another cool night with temperatures dropping into the 60s. So it'll be another night that you could open up the windows, let in some fresh air. But as we get into the day tomorrow, a slightly greater chance to see more scattered showers. Now, Futurecast bringing in some of this activity as early as 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. While that's possible, I think the greater chance of rain comes in once we get into tomorrow evening. Once again, during the heat of the day, that's when we have more energy for these showers, and can't rule out a few rumbles of thunder as well. So here's 5 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. You can see some of those scattered showers and thunderstorms developing, and that takes us through the evening. But then once the sun sets, a lot of that activity quiets down, so we'll be under a partly cloudy sky Sunday night. That sets us up for Monday. Going to be another dry day, but you notice a lot of the wind arrows starting to come out of the south. And that's going to be bringing in the next air mass, and that's our next weather highlight, because that's when the heat and humidity are going to start to crank back up here. With heat coming in, several days expected to be in the 90s, and with that going to be humid, so heat index value is going to be climbing into the triple digits. So looking at the temperature trend, still a nice day tomorrow. We'll see highs in the mid 80s, so a little bit warmer than it was today, but slightly below that average, which is around 87. By Monday, we make it into the upper 80s, and then starting Tuesday, that's our first day we're forecasting in the 90s, and we may stay in the 90s until we get to next weekend. So going to be several days with those temperatures in the 90s, could be making it into the mid 90s, and again, those heat index values in the triple digits. As we look at the 6 to 10 day temperature outlook, it favors above average temperatures through the rest of the month. You can see the time period here, July 28th through August 1st, above average temperatures for much of the country. That heat dome the Weather Channel was talking about earlier, expanding across a good chunk of the U.S., and that includes us right here in the Wabash Valley. So it looks like it's going to be a toasty end to the month of July. Before tonight, going to be a cool night. We'll drop down into the lower 60s under a mostly clear sky. So if you want to give the air conditioning a break, tonight's another night you'll be able to do so. Then tomorrow, 85. Most of the day, I think, will end up dry. We do have the possibility for some scattered showers, especially in the afternoon. But there should still be some dry time with some sunshine if you're planning to do something outside. We'll see that wind coming out of the southwest. And then tomorrow night, dropping down into the middle 60s. So still an okay temperature-wise night with a partly cloudy sky. And then as we look at the 7-day forecast, that's when the heat and humidity start to crank up. We'll see those highs climbing into the 90s by Tuesday. And as we get into next week, the weather pattern is going to be unsettled enough. Can't rule out a few spotty showers in the heat of the day. Doesn't look like it's going to be any widespread systems coming through. We'll see those temperatures topping out in the lower to middle 90s, with overnight lows only dropping into the 70s.